Hi, and welcome to Girl Meets Fire, where we talk about BTS, mental health, and sometimes kind of midlife. I have pondered what to do. Based on my last few videos outside of the MMA video, I did Persona, Ego, and Shadow. So it occurred to me, I've done, 3 comeback trailers? Is that it? Yeah? Like solo songs. Might as well keep rolling, right? Epiphany would have been great here, but that's one of the very first videos I did. I love Epiphany. So Jin got a comeback trailer. Jimin has one with Serendipity. V has one with Singularity. Has everybody had a comeback trailer? Jungkook. Jungkook doesn't have a comeback trailer, does he? Why doesn't he? Am I wrong? Does Jungkook have one? If so, that's what I would review today. Because I have complicated feelings about V and I have very complicated feelings about Jimin. And I was going, just like Shadow, I have complicated feelings about Suga and Shadow. I finally decided to do the Shadow video, and so that's why I'm not doing Jimin today. I'm actually going to do that next week. My first reaction to Filter. Today I'm going to do Singularity. And I have complicated feelings about V, but not terribly complicated, if that makes sense. It's hilarious to me because with Dynamite being my first viewing of the guys in action, V was one of the few, he was one of the ones that really stood out in the beginning. He had a few moments that were really, that green suit that really stood out. Then, as I got to know the members, V kind of fell to the wayside for me. Not that he isn't spectacular and special, but I think ones that maybe I hadn't been initially captivated by started captivating me. So everything went into that. And then around the time, just shortly before I did my video to BTS Idol, I started to realize how freaking funny V is and how charismatic and how sometimes subtle or dry his humor is, and yet how completely exaggerated he is in so many ways. He's a really interesting guy. And if you are familiar with BTS and ARMY, you understand the concept of bias and bias wreckers. And I really kind of didn't get it until pretty much V and Jin. They, to me, embody what a bias wrecker is. Like, I get it now. They're not my bias wreckers, because honestly, I think I have 2 biases and 5 bias wreckers. Who my bias is pretty much who I'm watching at a time until I watch my 2 biases. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, you are definitely my biases. But then I watch any of the other ones and I'm like, or maybe not. Oh, and Bang Bang Con is happening. So when I was showering today, I had a Bang Bang Con and I got to see just tidbit. Oh, something was really crazy they were showing. It was a live performance of Best of Me, which I didn't really get to see because I'm showering. But then I got pulled in. There was this sort of acted out skit between RM and Jimin, and they're not in the same room, but they're mirroring each other with what they're doing. There's this, it's like the yellow ball from Serendipity, but it's also fruit, and the wind chimes. Do you know what I'm talking about? What was that? And is that a continuation? Sort of BU-ish, and it's also just sort of art, but it makes me wonder, are there other ones connecting the members? Do you know what I'm talking about? All right, let's get on with Singularity. Man, the reactions against the new big hit intro. Oh, I love them in Corduroy. They've been doing Corduroy. He's really good at that. He's really convincing at that. Oh, that was slick. The way he pulled his arm out. Ice. Water. Ice. Red hot. God, the colors. Everything's so saturated. the hundreds of times I've heard this, I did not anticipate. I've seen bits of this, the faces clips and something. God, the colors. V is so smooth. Like, he is a jazz musician. The smoothness is incredible. Feet. That is a wild earring. The one that said loved, not the hoop, obviously. Did he just set, was that fire to the flowers or just like a light leak? His, his choreography is beautiful. And it's so, it's so fun and punchy. And the song is so smooth and sexy. It's a weird mismatch that works, like V. Oh, that was cool, the mask. Wow, that's cool. Ah, the choreography. I was not expecting this. Oh, don't end. The song's too short. The blue eyes are weird. Okay, hold on. We gotta go back here. Does anybody else have a thing for feet and hands? I think they're special. I think hands and feet are really just special. I mean, human bodies are special, faces are special, but you know, they get all the attention. While our hands and feet do all the work, there's something so just freaking feet. Okay, so there's a bunch of different scenes in this. I don't know what to make of this. Oh, I don't have the captions on. Well, I was so just captivated with how freaking colorful and beautiful this was. I didn't even have the captions on. Okay, let's try that. It's a short song. It's wildly beautiful video. There were different sets. I just realized there's men laying there. I was so watching him the first time I didn't notice 4 guys laying and dancing around him. I like the layering of his clothing. Okay, I'm trying to pay attention to lyrics. But V. Oh. Dang, that footwork. Like, I know he's BTS, so footwork is not a surprise. But I didn't expect it to this song. Sorry, oh, his voice is magic. That was ice. Crack again on this frozen lake. I dumped myself into the lake. What the? Buried my voice for you. Oh, hands. That thing he does with his hands just then. Oh. We're gonna watch the hand thing again, right there. Oh. Myself, or have I gained you? Dance, baby. But in the end, spring will come someday. The ice will melt and flow away. Is that for them or for him? Damn, B. I shouldn't have thrown myself away. What I was supposed to do back then. Okay, so another song that I had not. that was B. And that was BU. Is this part of the BU? Is this official content? Because it's definitely connected. Oh, I was not expecting that. So this is clearly another song that, I mean, they have a large catalog of music, so it's not a surprise, it shouldn't be a surprise that as a 6-month army that I have not looked up every translation yet, so I just looked up the translation to Rain last night. I'm sorry, Dark and Wild really is one of my favorite albums. Oh, my life is at a very transitional stage right now. And I've been super overwhelmed the last couple weeks, in part with the passing of my grandmother. Thank you for everybody who left really sweet messages so much. Oh my god. Some of you really did leave some condolences and well wishes, and thank you. And for those who didn't, no hard feelings or anything, obviously. She went really peacefully, and weirdly over the last couple weeks it's gotten harder for me thinking about, she didn't have a funeral, which is weird. She didn't want one. There was a kind of surprise memorial service, but like 5 of us were there. My husband wasn't there, and he was almost every bit as much her grandmother as mine. Just weird feelings, a lot of complex feelings. And then my life is very much in a transitional point right now, where I'm regaining myself, where I have thrown myself away over the last many years, and now I am refinding my own reflection, refinding last night I videoed a log, the way that BTS used to do back in their old days, in those first years. I usually write stuff out. I'm talking it out right now because my voice is worthy of being heard, not necessarily by an audience. It's just me hearing myself even is worth it. And frequently when I learn more about a BTS song or find, look at the translation, I find that's really tapping into that spirit of your life being in a transition and having faith in yourself and where the transition's going to go. Change can create loss. You're saying yes to something at the risk of something else completely falling away that you had put all your eggs in. Eggs in the basket cliche, sorry guys. I'm gonna stop babbling about all that. I'm glad you watched with me. Kath, I'm still gonna reach out to you and I still have a lot of comments to reply to. Honestly, I kind of hermited the last couple weeks. V though, what a way to start my day. That video was so exaggerated and saturated. Choreography, lyrics, the visuals, the flowers, the ice, as always, I actually end up figuring out more about how I feel about a video as I'm editing my video. And rewatching the BTS video like 18 times. Figured out a lot about how I feel about the BU. And some other videos, like just randomly from after my initial reactions. Anyway, V, what a guy. What a guy. God, just what a human. I don't know how to say it. He just seems like a really phenomenal human, but which of them doesn't? See, this is what I mean by the bias wrecker. He is the epitome of what bias wrecker means to me. They all are, but like he went from kind of not being on my radar to, God, what a human. That guy right there, that face. And hearing him talk in interviews, I'm gushing, I'm gone. I hope you guys are having a really lovely weekend. I hope you've been enjoying Bang Bang Con 2021. I missed it in 2020 because I didn't know who they were. And yeah, and I'm going to miss a lot of it this time because of toddlers. But yeah, I'll be back in a couple of days with videos and I'm going to write some individual messages to you guys and I'm going to sort through my grief over my own life and my grandmother's. And I love you guys. Whatever you're going through, you never walk alone. For those of you who have left me messages about your own hard paths, thank you. Thank you. You never walk alone. I love you. I deeply believe God loves you even when we don't feel it. I pray He loves me. And I believe that BTS loves us. I do. I believe they love us as we are. And they want us to do better for ourselves. So do better for yourself. And I'm going to work on that for me. And whatever my future entails.